Good afternoon,
Good
my
afternoon.
friends.
To me, it's morning.
It's morning.
Because,
How are you? Happy day Easter after Easter.
Happy day after Easter. What do you call it? That's a day, right?
Look,
Or
it's the day after Easter when you've eaten too much, had fun, got some, chocolate eggs, had some candy, told the family. It's a good day, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Look at it. Oh,
Yes.
Sorry.
I was with my brother-in-law Kenny made us this huge breakfast. You would have loved it.
Right.
I mean, unbelievable. And then there was like 9 screaming kids, which was great.
9 screaming what?
Yeah,
Are you
kids.
serious?
Yeah, all his grandchildren. My sister's grandchildren. But it was so nice. They all had on yellow. And it was just really nice. Patrick came, hung out with the family.
Okay.
And then we went to the View Grill and had dinner, me and Patrick.
Wonderful.
And with Susan and her husband. And it was really nice. We had a great day. Weather was great, and everybody go to the View Grill. Tell them we sent you because they're great.
Is it good? The food's good?
Oh, it's in Glen Head. Yes, very nice.
I was with the kids and the family and went to see a lot of friends. Happy birthday, Eliza. Before I forget, I know I'm going to forget.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. I think she turned 21, I think.
Yeah, right. Well, she looks good.
It sounded really good.
Always looks good, Eliza.
But, yeah, I have to give a quick shout out. I know last show I didn't give the shout outs, which I naturally always give shout outs for. Jenny A, Jenny C, Stacy, Mario, Marilyn, Melissa giving you a really, really big shout out. Annabelle, Mickey, Grandma, I love you. Choopy, I didn't forget about you. Eliza, I didn't forget about you either. And a prayer for Mama Joanne and Adam. Adam isn't feeling well, and he's in the hospital. And hopefully he'll get better. I know he will.
Yes.
And hope. Adam has a problem with his heart, right? He's a really strong guy. And he's more upset the guy who's in a hospital bed. You got a problem with your heart. I'd be worried about my life. He's worried about the hockey game that he missed.
Wow.
He's missing he's missing the Islander games. And that's what he's more upset about. Blood pressure's going through the roof because he can't make the game. But Hope, his sister, she's been going to the game. So giving you guys a big shout out.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And unfortunately, we had some bad news. One of our sponsors that was just on last week passed away. And that is Janet Russell. She's the psychic.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And,
Our prayers are with you.
Yeah, we got a call. Actually, Susan got a call from her neighbor. And God bless her. She was
I'm so
a
sorry.
wonderful woman. And she was getting very busy all of a sudden. And she passed away 2 days ago. So
It's crazy.
rest in peace, Janet. We loved you. So
Our prayers are out with you. Prayers.
But getting on to better and great things, look who we have here today.
I know.
Artistasialee. Oh, can't wait to hear what you
Look
have
at this.
to say.
I love this outfit. I just love the
outfit.
What an outfit.
Thank
Whoa.
you.
Does that have a meaning, that little outfit? Where did you get it? Or,
And look at the nails. Wait, can I see your nails?
Look at the nails.
Oh my
Everything
God.
matches.
Look at this.
Woohoo.
Oh my God.
Where is this? Because it just looks like so striking. Is there some kind of a place where you bought that? Or?
It's a Kafka. I mean, they have beautiful ones in the Middle East and Egypt. But it's getting, the culture, everything is just blending. I wore this out and people like thinking that it's some sort of my heritage and
Right.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
And I'm like, no, it's just pretty. Just
Right.
like
It's beautiful.
I'll wear
beautiful.
like whatever kind of outfit
Yeah,
it is
right.
because and I just felt the color and
Spring,
everything.
right.
Yeah, it was
Well,
just
it's very
I was-
becoming. And I love the gold. Oh, it's just
The
gorgeous.
stones, really.
Yes. Is
It's
it
a lot of work
comfortable?
that's
Does it
put
feel
in.
heavy on your chest?
No, it's not. It's
No?
because the weight is up here, so it's not
Right.
really much weight. It's super comfy. It's
Yeah.
like wearing a bathrobe or
Yeah, it looks
it's one piece. You just. I love dresses. I love dresses. You just put one piece on and that's it.
That is really something. You look gorgeous. Thank you for coming. We're going to
My
be talking
pleasure.
a lot. And then we have Mike Diaz. I don't know if you've ever met.
We just did.
Pre-show, but it's a pleasure, Mike. I
Same
can't wait
here.
to hear about your book. And
Yeah, he's got some story. I mean, I know him since day one of Breakfast Club. So we're talking a lot of years,
Go back.
17 years.
Wow.
And, we did a lot of stuff together. You've had some career And I think
glad
you're
you're going this
finally,
way.
but you're finally at a place what we've been talking about for about 2 years now.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
And it goes all back to, reinventing yourself. And,
Right, exactly.
second careers and all that.
And it goes with my theme too, about personal identity
And manifestations.
Well, you have to decide who you want to be before you manifest it.
Yeah,
So-
and we had a conversation, about a year and a half ago.
Mhm.
You helped me with some things, and
Yeah.
look at the way things are going. It's like unbelievable. It's power of the mind is really a big thing.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes.
But I didn't believe that years ago, and my father used to say it to me 30 years ago, but I used to laugh at my father.
Well, most people are in the victimhood. This happened to me, woe is me. And it's about taking total responsibility. Like, we're in a society where if a car hits you, right, it's their fault. And it is their fault. The thing is, lots of things and trauma happen to us in our early childhood or in general in life. But we have to take responsibility.
Yes.
If we don't, we're always the victim and we can't change the future.
Right.
So it's about, you want to manifest something, you have to believe that you can. And the
Right.
power
And I
is
think
within you.
also when you make some mistakes, they're good, but they hurt when you make them. But when you change them,
But that's
But when
part
you
of
get the
growing. I
lesson,
think that's part of growing also.
Well,
growing,
When-
making the
and
mistakes.
all emotions are neither good or bad. So what happens is, like, we labeled good emotions and bad emotions, and then when we have something, we want something, it doesn't happen that way, or unexpected stuff in life happens, and we feel so sad, angry, or whatever, and we don't want to feel that way, so we either suppress it, ignore it, whatever, and all that's going to do is, it's like a soda can.
hold you down, right?
Yeah, so you just lean into it without judgment. You look into the feeling. Feeling is just letting you know your uncomfortableness, or it also can be the greatest healing, because it can be that feeling can come from trauma. It can come from your limiting beliefs, because a lot of times we judge or we have expectations. So family dynamics is great because Easter, when you're together with family and you expect people to arrive this time, or you expect people to behave this way, and all those
It doesn't always happen.
Right. So you have to let go of the expectation and go into gratitude.
Enjoying it, right?
Gratitude. So I'm constantly being aware. Anytime I find myself judging or being triggered, I'm so grateful for those moments, because it helps me dig down
Deep
deeper.
into your soul.
Where is my limits? Why am I feeling this? So I can make the turnaround.
Right.
And that doesn't happen instantaneously. People are at all different levels. If you're at the very still victim, woe is me.
Well, that's
and
a bad place to be.
it's not that it's a bad place. They just haven't taken the time
To think about
lift
it.
themselves out, or have had enough pain to say, okay, I don't want to live here anymore. This is too uncomfortable. Some people are motivated, and some people need a lot of pain to be motivated.
Mm-hmm.
And the motivation doesn't always work, because in today's society, if information was a thing, we would all be happy, healthy, and wealthy. We have the info.
Right.
It's about what will help us to get to where we want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about, the first step is taking radical
Responsibility.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because that will empower you. If you don't take that responsibility, you will always be stuck in the victim mode. And how are you going to manifest things if you don't realize how much
Right.
power you have?
Well, that's great. That's a great starting point. But somebody just walked in. Hey, look who's here,
That's
John
John.
Gregory.
This
Come
is
on
my John.
down.
Get over here. Come here, young
Come over
man.
here and come and sit with us. Come here. It's good
Let's
to
get ready to
see
sit.
you.
We had it. I have to
Look
tell
at
you.
how tall he got.
Look at him.
Oh
This
my
is the
goodness.
That's my
sun.
son.
This is
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi.
Look at how
Pleasure
cute
to
you
meet
are. My goodness. I like your hair. It's
I was
so
seeing if
nice.
they share a hair product.
Yes.
Don't let him
He
pick-
has hair. I don't have hair. Okay.
Don't let him
Oh,
pick
well,
your
don't
hair
say
out.
that.
No, I mean, I
Black
have.
hair.
I
Black
mean-
people would be like so grateful to have that
She's
much.
great. You're going to be on the show.
Yeah, this is it. She's gonna be a
forever.
regular.
You're going to be a regular. Oh my God.
So, John Gregory, you're going to which school now?
I go to Chaminade.
Chaminade, which is the best place to go.
Wow.
You're a junior or senior?
I'm
What are
a
you?
freshman.
So that's ninth, right?
Yeah.
10th. Ninth.
3 more checks
Nice.
tonight.
Wow. How do you like it?
I loved it.
Now, there's no girls there, right? So all men.
There you go.
Well,
She's
boys
already
and men.
starting with him. Look at him.
Yeah,
Look at her.
and so
That's
you got to go outside
Yeah,
of
that's-
school
that's
to,
what-
Yeah.
to have your
Thank you.
dates, right?
That's the
Well,
reason.
you
So-
don't play lacrosse because you wouldn't be here right now.
No, I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Day off today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now tell me, what was it like getting into Chaminade?
I mean, like, the first couple weeks, yeah, it's, like, just different because, like, you don't know anyone there.
Yeah, sure.
But, like, just, like, after being there for, like, such a long time, you just start to, like, love it and, like, how the people are there and, like, how,
They're
like, supportive
nice.
the teachers are.
So that's a good thing because you're only there a few weeks now, right? How
Well,
long was?
I've been here for almost, like, a year.
Oh, it's a year
Yeah,
already?
almost.
Jeez.
Time flies, right?
Great.
Yeah.
I remember
a
when your
great
father
statement
said
about
you were going.
a great statement about the school is I know so many people who went to Chaminade years ago, and but they insist on their kids going there. They think that highly of the education
Yes.
they got, and
Absolutely.
the experience they got there. You know, I mentioned it because my kids went to Cold Spring Harbor, which lacrosse, you guys. But you got people paying tremendous taxes in Cold Spring Harbor. And they go, I got to send the kids to
No matter what. Yeah, it's true.
Chaminade.
Yeah.
That says
That's
a lot
a
about
statement.
that
Yeah, it
says
does.
a lot about the school.
And the sister goes to Kellenberg Latin School.
Oh, right down the down the block.
So I wanted her to go to at first to Sacred Heart because it's an all girls.
Yeah.
Look, I'm all for the all boys school
Yeah.
and the all girls school because we just mentioned distractions. You know what I mean? And having girls or having whatever, but Kellenberg, I got to tell you something, was a great choice.
Yeah.
So I'm really proud of my daughter Chloe Ann for.
Me
Well,
too.
those are
She's doing
schools
great.
that
She's
it's
doing
all
great.
about
And they're brother
developing
sister
character,
schools.
right?
So-
And they do
Yes.
so many extra
The
curriculums.
self-responsibility
Yeah.
is a big part, and of course, it's contagious because you're surrounded by a lot of people thinking the same way.
And high
you-
achievers.
you just-
Like
Yeah.
anybody that you're going
And
to be
that's the
friends
secret
with.
too, who you're surrounded
Right,
by.
thank you. That's exactly it.
Shed that negative.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shed
that's
the
right.
negative.
Right.
And you know,
Right? If
always
someone's a drain
surround
on you,
yourself
unless
and
they're a family
learn.
member, you can't shed.
Yeah, that's
Shed.
it.
You
Yeah.
gotta hang out with people that are just like you and a little above.
We were just talking
Yeah.
about that in the car last night.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
where does
that's
he
where
want
you
to? Where does he
learn.
want to go to? Which I love.
I want to go to, like, West Point. That's my dream school.
That's right here
I'm
too.
like, yeah.
That's
so-
See, when you go to West
Yeah.
Point, I want you to
My
get,
friends went to
I want
Annapolis.
you to
That's
get
why
in
you
there.
see. You got
I
baby
want him
people
to
in
do
our.
speaking.
Guy was
All
in.
right. So when he goes to West Point, he's going to be a big shot that he can get me in to speak.
There you go. That would
There
be
you
great.
go. How does
Great
that
school.
sound?
It's beautiful.
And I
Beautiful.
want to thank him for Frank Musgrave Kiwanis had a matter of fact I forgot to mention it before the Easter
I
egg.
missed it. I'm
Susan,
sorry.
thank you so much.
Yeah, Susan was a
And
big part of it.
she really helped out an awful lot. A great deal. She's always there, very supportive. I'm sorry you couldn't make it.
I couldn't,
And he was the Easter bunny, and so was my daughter.
And
so
they
took
looked
turns.
great. I saw the
they
pictures.
took turns.
They look great. I saw all the
So
pictures.
they did a great job. So thank them both.
And all the animals, they had the animals.
We had a
for
petting
kids.
animal. They had a pony ride. They
It
had
was
face
beautiful.
painting. We had a DJ Richie. Thank
Oh,
you so
love
much, DJ
Rich.
Richie. It's great.
So you must have been happy volunteering for that, right?
He
was fun.
he loves to volunteer.
I know. So now you're going to be volunteering a lot more with Chaminade.
Yeah.
Because they do a lot of projects.
Yeah,
a lot
I
of
know.
projects. So it's great. So you love it.
Yeah.
So you're just going up. That's what you're doing. Up. You got a great role model here with your father and your mother. Terrific community people. And your father, well, he's a talk show host. No, but
That's
I'm
a
glad
thing.
you
Like,
stopped
that's a good
back.
thing.
Yeah, right.
I'm glad you stopped in. So, you know, you can
doesn't
stop in
remember that
anytime
Jerry
you want.
Springer.
You know
Thank you.
that.
Right. I was going to say right there we
Hey,
go.
maybe someday when Dad can't make it, you could come and sit by Valentina. I would love that.
He would love to do it. Look. He goes,
Look
okay.
at him. He's up, all you have to do is get a shirt like your dad.
Well,
Yeah,
and, the big
and he
thing
does
is
fit
meeting
my
people,
clip.
meeting people,
Yeah.
right? Getting
Well,
out.
network.
Yeah.
Everything is
Yeah,
networking.
it is.
and
I have no
also-
problem
But
with
he
that.
sees that.
It's who you
You
know.
see,
Let me know. You make sure you tell your friends you're going to be on the show once in a while.
I will.
Yeah,
And then all they have to do is go in your closet.
well, you know what's
I
really
have-
funny? I got to tell you something. Look, yesterday we're in a rush, right? So I looked at his clothes. Now he's only been there not even a year yet. So all his pants and shirts they're just kind of shrinking, and he's wearing like I was like, that looks like high waters. He goes, no, they're fine. He pushes them down, and I said, but you're not supposed to have to push your pants down right?
Oh, but today.
And it's, right.
They
So,
want, you know what? They want what to show.
right. No. So no. So then all of a sudden he had a jacket on, and I was like, you know what? The jacket looked a little tight. One of the jackets, anyway. So I don't know. Something made me say to him, you know what? Try one of my jackets on. And I got to tell you, so I'm waiting for it to be really baggy on him. But the thing fit him like a glove. And I sat there and I was like, oh my God.
You're lucky then.
You know, not realizing how big and how fast they're growing. Both of them, even my daughter. And he's 6 foot, you know, and my daughter, I don't know, she's like 5'7" now.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing.
She's 12.
So whenever you have to go anywhere snazzy, you just go to Dad's closet.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
That's
you
true.
did something today that one of my business mentors and the person I admire most, Craig Doswell, one of his tips, a big tip, is if you're thinking about doing something and you really want to do it, tell people. Because one, it puts you on the spot, but then you never know who's going to know somebody.
Right.
You already just said about West Point. You did something.
See
Keep
that?
that in memory. You
See
tell
that?
people what you're going to do, and that's a big step.
That's a
into getting there.
manifestation, isn't it?
Yep,
Someday.
manifestation.
Well, the step towards it. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
it's one of the. Yeah, it's one of
yes.
many.
a little hop.
But
skip.
don't be afraid to tell people what your goals are, or what you're looking to do, or what type of job you want, whatever it
And
is.
yeah,
Because you never know who's there that can give you a
That's
hand.
right.
and even simple things like when I first met Patrick, who's my lovely second half now, a crazy friend of mine started writing his name everywhere and putting it in my bedroom. I'm like, stop doing that. And she
Putting
did.
it what?
Yes, she put it in my bedroom.
Okay.
Patrick's name on a platter, you know, on a thing, and I put it behind the bureau, but it was always there. And so the other day when I was cleaning up, and I'm like, oh my God, she put it in there. Well, he's around. It's 2 years later.
Yeah, well, look, she put that in the air, but to us, we call that like voodoo stuff.
Yeah, I
what
know, but you know
put
what?
the name
It
on
is-
there, and you throw seeds,
Yes,
you throw whatever.
but it is sort of a-
No, I'm teasing. I'm
a
teasing.
tip of a
No, I'm
manifestation.
Well, you know what?
I'm teasing.
Einstein said that was the spooky science.
Right.
There is a science, and today we can quantify and measure how that happens. And I'm bringing more of the science aspect of it today on
Okay.
actual how to do it, because most people can do a little bit here or there, and they know, like, they thought about it, they wanted it or whatever, and it happens. But a lot of times they want to manifest other stuff and it doesn't happen.
Right.
So there are a lot of tools to, and it has to do with changing the core. Most people do it at the conscious level, which is the weakest level. It's really letting go of this want and need and becoming and knowing. Like, I feel with him, if he decides in his senior year, junior year, that he still wants to go to West Point, he will definitely go to West Point, because I could just feel from him now that it's not
vibration.
like, oh, I want to or I need to. It's like, okay, West Point is like a knowing. And that's
yeah, he
how
did
manifestation happens. It's a knowing and not a needing. And most
That's
people make these outrageous vision boards, and which
Yes.
is great to think of something far ahead.
Down the
that-
line.
Right.
But if your vision board makes you feel uncomfortable, if it doesn't give you a high, great feeling, it's doing the opposite effect. Instead of it bringing you closer to your dreams, it's pushing you
pulling you
away.
back.
That's interesting. It's good
Everything
for you
is
to learn this.
emotions, and everything is vibration. Nikola Tesla. So this is the science of it.
Like that, we go with that.
Vibration,
Whoa, we went
energy.
from Einstein to go ahead.
It
No.
all is vibrations.
Vibration,
I'm 100%
energy,
believer in
and
that, and I
frequency.
believe the
Right,
science is going to
frequency.
prove that
Right,
very
well, the
soon.
science has proved
Yeah.
it. That's why it's
Well, it's-
vibration, energy, and
They're
frequency.
still trying to capture it
well,
to see, because they still need. It's almost
I
like-
do believe in it.
Yeah, but they- but
they
you're right,
they
Yeah.
quantified it, and there's lots of studies to show they all these research. I mean, literally. So you take a random generator. It's a machine that does equal amounts of 0 and 1, so they should be exactly the same. Now you have people who try to make it go more zeros than 1, and the machine should have done the equally, and it does if when the people are not focusing on that. And they've also done it with chicks. and a robotic chicken. So the robotic chicken goes 50% one way, 50% the other way. But even with wild animals, the chicks chirping cheep, 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 cheep makes that robotic goes more to the chicks. So this, just like gravity, right? This is a law of science. If you want to manifest something, if you follow the law, it has to happen. Right. It's just that people want the law without changing their vibration within themselves.
That makes sense. Well,
so remember that.
You remember all
positivity.
Yeah. Really?
Like, we'll talk about in my program.
Yes, we're going to do that.
My business program, the mentoring and the speaking. But it's what you're talking about in that whole. It's a learned behavior.
Exactly.
It is a learned behavior. People, that whole thing. And you just do a lot of little things.
Right.
And all of a sudden it becomes second
grows.
nature.
Plus the other thing that we said is remember, talk to as many people as you can along the way. And if I hadn't met your father 4 years ago in the dry cleaners, I wouldn't be sitting here right now doing this. So I thank him every day because I was not in a very good place before that. I was doing what I wanted, but not what I really wanted. And now I'm doing what I really want and then some. So remember, talk to a lot of people.
Because, but he does. He really does.
Yeah, I know he does. He's very friendly and also handsome like Dad.
And athletic.
Yes, athletic. And now you're in Chaminade. So what's better than that? So congratulations. Thank you for stopping down. I didn't shock you, right?
No.
No? Okay. All right, good. See, I'm really very nice. Okay, honey. Thanks a lot. Good luck, all right? Okay. You're welcome.
I know I mentioned a minute ago about Franklin Square. Marge, I have to give her a big shout out, Marge Kelly. She's another amazing woman. She does a lot for the community. And she just gave us a big shout out that we had a great turnout at Garden World. Seth, giving you a big shout out. He's the owner. And Jenny, our president, she did a great job putting everything together.
She did. I saw
and
the picture.
Jenny C, you did a great job. Chrissy, giving you a shout out because her best friend's down from out of town. So just giving you a big shout out.
And Marge, I read what she wrote. I follow her.
Yeah.
What she's writing about the new restaurant. I give her a lot of credit.
Right.
She's trying to help the small and medium businesses.
She does all the time.
I do that too in a different way, but I give her tons of credit, especially around this neighborhood.
Marge, you got to come on one day.
Yes, I wanted to come on.
You have to be our guest. You have to come on.
Definitely. I give her a lot of credit, so thank you.
But getting back to...
So, Mr. Mike, are you comfortable?
I'm always comfortable.
Yeah?
When am I not comfortable?
You're not close enough to me. Come over on an angle here.
He's going to sit on your lap right now. Here we go. Look at it.
All right. There you go. All right.
That works?
Wow.
There we go.
You know how
Patrick, don't get jealous.
Nah.
Okay, Patrick? No, I don't.
Well, speaking of Patrick, before you start, today is an Irish Republican, an Irish Easter Rising Day. It's a big day in Ireland today. Mm-hmm. Patrick and all the politicians are right now at the Mineola Courthouse doing the Easter Rising. And it is a very special day every year. From 1916 to now, it's a ceremony, and it's all about how some tough things happened way back when.
It didn't, isn't one of the politicians...
Yeah.
Well, the president, isn't the president in Ireland or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Is it because of something like that?
And it was, it was a tough time, in the war. But he's there with all the politicians today, so he said, "Tell everybody it's at 12. It's at the courthouse. If you want to go later, that's where they are." So it's resurrection.
Today is also National Crescent Day.
Yeah, crescent. Nice crescent sandwich.
Crescent, yeah.
Have your sandwich on a crescent roll today. It'll taste better.
Because it's today. Because the person, whoever writes all these things out, said so. So we must listen to the writer of all these quotes.
So, Mike, you have done so many things. I'm going to let Greg talk to you because I know everything you've done.
Yeah, well, I heard something about that. You cook. Something like that.
Anytime I speak or whatever, and they find out I was a competitive barbecue, all conversations lead to barbecue, ribs, pulled pork, brisket, chicken. Yeah, so Greg found out I brought pulled pork today.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. I was like, what do you pull pork?
I spent 10 hours with a smoker last night,
Wow.
And when I'm going to talk about my book and my speaking program, and a lot of the stuff you were mentioning is in that, and that whole thinking and that vision.
Yeah, but besides the vision, what I went to earlier about we all know what we should do, but the thing is the reason we don't do it, mentors, coaches, therapists are so vital. Why, to get a coach like you, because now you have somebody holding you accountable. People read books and they could read a dozen books and it doesn't do anything. You have the knowledge here, but a coach brings it out.
True.
And hold you accountable.
Interesting you say that, because I think it's that, and there's another thing you talked about. I talk about the negative influences, discouragement, failures, just self-doubt. And I went through my life where other people, I ended up, I saw how other people lived, and I always thought that was for other people. And at some point you go,
it's not for me. It's not my turn or something, right?
Right. And then, but why not me? What's so special about them? And there is a lot of special stuff, but what's so special about them
is you too.
Right.
Why, and the only way I'm going to find out is if I try.
Exactly.
Right? So I always enjoyed cooking.
And barbecues.
Going
and
back
also,
to my mother watching Graham Kerr and Julie Child when I was a little kid.
Julie Child, that was it. That was my mother's favorite.
And I loved the traveling, all that stuff. Always interested in that. And then, when we had family, we were living in Lloyd Harbor, we had a nice big backyard. We would be down on the beach on a Saturday, and the conversation, we're having a really good time. The kids are all playing, and 4 or 5 different families, and you didn't want it to end.
Right. Those are the old days.
And then, what do you want to do? Well, let's go back to someone's house. Let's have dinner.
Right.
And the conversation, well, what do you want to do? And they would all come to our house or whatever. And finally, my ex-wife at the time goes, just come. He wants you to come. Because I would want to. And we did it almost like Iron Chef. Just bring ingredients and I'll figure out a way. I had 5 or 6 different grills and smokers and different things. Just bring whatever you want. And I'll figure out how to make it, work it together and serve. And we do that stuff. And there was a little bit of a talent in there. And then I had the opportunity, believe it or not, on a fishing forum, and it turned out to be one of the top barbecue teams in the country, the Barbecue Brethren here in Long Island, who used to go to Kansas City and Memphis, whatever, and place in the top 5 in the world. The main chef was hosting a big competition, so his partner needed someone just to help run, whatever. And I was like, I'm in. I was just so curious about this, and so I spent the weekend with them. The first thing about it, the barbecue community is just amazing. You had people from all walks of life. You had CEOs, doctors, plumbers, you name it. They were all out there. And they are the most colorful people in the world. The language on them. And they'll just curse you out in a loving way, and because they would insult you with such a great degree of humor and love at the same time. It was just wonderful.
Wow.
But I got to, and I go, I know nothing about barbecue after watching what they were doing.
So you felt like at a loss because they.
Yeah, but I paid attention, and this was and so I decided why don't I take my stab at a competition? And I learned. I had my mentors. I watched them, and then online and through the forums, you got a lot of tips, and a lot of people sharing what they knew, and I obviously haven't seen on the inside. And my first barbecue competition was a rib fest in Hicksville Fire Department. And I took a medal.
Did you?
And I was like, oh my God.
That's
a very
great.
short time after that. And I went a few more competitions and medaled. And then I did at the Maples out in Manaville, a big statewide, even out of state competition, 50 some of the best barbecue teams in the country. And I'll never forget my partner Charlie Raisinson and I, when we heard our name.
Yeah, he's a biggie. He's been on the show.
We got called for first place in ribs for a New York State Championship. And I was like, oh my God, I would never, ever have gotten to that point.
Well, congratulations.
If I didn't try, I had, and I didn't know I had that in me. And of course, your friends are going to tell you your food's great, but it's when complete strangers in the styrofoam box tell you that's the best.
They compliment you.
Yes.
And knowing the level of competition to come out
That's
there.
great. And then you went into the fishing.
Yeah, well, I always fish.
Yeah, I was a big fishing in
So the fishing went to the barbecue.
Big
Remember that?
fishing.
Jason Stipe Bass got me into a food forum in the fishing forum, and it turned out to be that other team member was in that same forum when he needed help. But the point was the mentors, but you got to try it. And a couple of my
Everybody, I have to be honest with you. Everybody has mentor. Who's your mentor? Would you say?
Who's my mentor?
Yeah, like kind of.
Well, I'm in a few mastermind. I'm
Yeah,
in a few
okay.
mastermind groups. So this group, we encourage each other. So I have it for different aspects.
Different topics, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
who got you to really feel the way that you feel, that you felt that there's a reason why I need to do this? Do you have anybody that you could think
Meditation.
of?
Honestly,
Okay, so who
meditation.
got you into meditation then? I mean, if you think about it, then is there anybody, or just something that you were reading,
well,
or
for me personally, it was I had these transcendental experiences without trying. So when I was 13, I was out of my body, and as soon as I saw myself, poof, I was back in my body. And during adolescence and high school, it used to terrify me. So I read like back then. This would be considered so woo-woo, and like it wasn't really talked about. But now, the remote viewing, there's the Monroe stuff, Monroe Institute. There's all these institutes, there's programs and stuff to do, or even people ask me to teach them. But how I started was that I just had an absolute burning desire to know more, learn more. So it just meandered through one thing, and the synchronicity, just like Mike was saying, as soon as you start, the synchronicities begin.
Right.
It opens up for this. And now almost every mentor, I would say, like name any self-help guru, Brendan Burchard, Tony Robbins, you name
Yeah,
them,
he's my
they
favorite.
all
Impact.
have meditation.
Right.
They all have meditation in their program.
Life, right.
In their life and program, and the morning routine. I have a very structured morning routine. My first 2-3 hours is pretty much the same every
if
day.
you don't mind us asking, what is it?
I wake up around. I make myself not get out of bed before 3:30. 3:30 is the earliest, but I'm up out of bed
AM
between
or
3:30 to 4:30.
AM or PM?
AM.
Okay, yeah,
3:30.
Yeah.
Around
At
3:30
first, you
AM.
said, wait a second, now.
So depending on how early I wake up and when the sun rises, I'm catching a sunrise just about every morning. It doesn't matter rain, snow, sleet, or hail. And I started doing that for me to catch the sunrise as a self-discipline, because my life used to not be disciplined. So I was listening to Ram Dass. He's like a spiritual, he's passed away, but I used to listen to some of his things, and they talked about the discipline. So I chose to wake up and catch a sunrise for 7 days, no matter what.
In a row.
Yeah, 7 days in a row, no matter what, no excuses. And the body makes all these excuses. Oh, you're tired.
Right.
Yeah.
Start
Let me just-
tomorrow.
right,
You could
exactly,
just
right.
skip one day. Oh,
Right.
it's too cold.
true.
You were at a wedding last night. You just went to bed at 2. Like my brain, my body, because it wasn't trained, it did not want to get out of bed. Now, I have no alarm, no electronics.
And you just wake up automatic.
I just
So
say,
you
yeah.
trained your body for
I-
it, though. You trained
exactly.
your body. That's it.
Train not only the
And your
body,
mind.
the mind.
The
It's
mind.
the mind, because the mind does not always want to do it. And then sometimes I don't want to do it, and then I think, okay, then I have to think of who else could really use it. The fact that I don't want to get out of bed and do this, it must be like an energetic field where other people are feeling down also.
Right.
So I make sure. So the morning routine is a sunrise, meditation, workout. I do a little sprinting and stuff. And then, as you said about a barbecue, I don't, right now I'm in a very, very strict.
Cleansing, like you're not eating certain things.
Yeah, but it's not a cleansing.
Not a
It's
fasting or
it's not a cleansing. It's not a fasting. I feel like I could eat a lot, but I just don't eat meat or dairy. And I'm working on this autophagy. So the science of, I don't want to deviate from the manifestation, but science is aging is not a fact. Science of aging is considered more now of a disease. It's kind of like when you have a house brand new and built, right? It's beautiful. but after a while, it starts to corrode, and you have
decay.
to and you have to upkeep it. And there are ways that you can upkeep it so right now I'm experimenting. There's no protocol. It's based on science. So I am doing that protocol, seeing how I feel and stuff. And I've only started it, I would say it's only been a few weeks, and huge difference. Like my hair, like when I shower, so much of my hair, I would see it in the drain and stuff.
That happens to women a lot.
This last time, it was barely there. My nails are stronger. I mean, you could take biotin.
I take
and
biotin.
stuff.
I live on biotin for.
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
love the way
I think
Biotin
all
is
of
not
us
good
do.
for all women. Biotin can wreak havoc for a lot of women in
Really?
that thyroid. Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Biotin?
Biotin, yeah.
Well, if you
Yeah.
have the thyroid issue, yes.
Even if my business, I'm an internal entrepreneur. My business partner who's in Jersey, she had thyroids and stuff, and she went to a specialist, and it turned out it was from the biotin supplement. So,
Well,
yes.
everything causes something.
Yeah,
well, the
right,
thing
that's
is,
for
you have
sure.
to know your system. You have to keep check up on it. So, but back
that's
to
great.
the manifestation. I am training myself physically and mentally. So mentally, when you meditate, it changes the gray matter in your brain. So
Wow.
you are not reacting as impulsively. You know, like some people, we all have this gap between something happens, a thought, and a response. When you meditate, it makes that response time, it gives you a little more because that gray matter is a little stronger.
That's great. Well, so let's talk about it. Look at this cover. Guess who did his covers? Therese Montanelli.
Beautiful.
Therese, our artist, she's our graphic artist. She actually worked with
Very
Mike,
nice.
and she's working with him now. So Therese, thank you. We try to help our artists. Actually, today, our Justin is working with Mike too on a
That's
little
great.
short clip.
That's great.
So we try
love
to
you,
help
Justin.
everybody. Yes. So let's first of all, when you look at this, all right, the first thing you say, what do you think? Get out of the water. Could mean anything.
It can mean anything.
I used to surf, so I like this.
Yeah. And if you strike bass fish, you like that too.
So what made you just the cover?
So that's the book cover, Get Out of the Water. And so it's the book is my story. It was Columbus Day weekend, October 2017. And I set out on my kayak to spend a day kayak fishing on a beautiful, warm fall day. And in Oyster Bay and Long Island Sound. And at the end of the day, time to come home, the wind was picking up a bit, the water was a little bit choppy, and the unthinkable happened is the hatch on my kayak in the cockpit failed, and water was coming in the hull. The long story short, you can read more about it in the book, the kayak was flooded and I could not use it anymore. And so for the next 17 and a half hours, through the night, I had to tread water with nothing more than my PFD, my life vest. And I sort of drifted, floated, swam between some 10 miles between Long Island and Connecticut. And it wasn't until, and through the night, and it wasn't until Sunday morning where I spotted the Green Ledge Lighthouse off the coast of Norwalk, Connecticut. And spent the morning swimming as hard as I could till I finally reached that lighthouse, climbed up the ladder to the catwalk, and was able to signal to a fishing boat to call for help, which they did.
That is just
amazing.
amazing that, you got through it and all the people that came to help.
When did this
us.
happen?
2017.
2017, fall of 2017.
And it was a news day. There was a very big story about you.
It got covered in God knows how many papers and who picked up on the services. But anyone who's come to learn about my story, many of them and often will ask me, how did I get through it? How did you survive? Which is a fair enough question. It's one I would have asked. And the answer is, I really wasn't alone. And you've touched on many of this concept, is that I've been very fortunate. I have some of the best, most successful friends you can imagine. I've had great mentors, countless influencers in my life that helped me develop, a mindset. And, that mindset is having a vision, don't get distracted or discouraged, and keep sort of that laser focus to achieve that vision or your goals. And in that water, that's actually what I was doing is, when the negative thoughts creeped in, the gravity of the situation was starting to become onerous, the only thought that I kept coming back to is get out of the water. I have to get out of the water. So the book tells that story. And it tells that story of that horrific night. And I also incorporate a lot of the stories of those influences, my friends, how they influenced me.
Your whole life.
The whole life of that, where it mentioned before, it's learned behavior. I wasn't born with this mindset. I made plenty of my early part of my career. I made every mistake you could possibly imagine. But I got to watch and observe some very successful people, some of my friends. And I started learning from them. And that ability to just keep that vision, keep that focus, don't get distracted, shed that negative was in there. And so while the book I think does a very good job, my sister was the co-author on
yes,
C.D.
she's
Shepard,
done a
wonderful
great
writer.
job. Yes.
I think the book does capture a lot of that drama of that night, but it also shares those influences. And I hope that not only do someone will appreciate, that drama, maybe it might inspire someone to do something great.
Well, I would think that if this ever turned into a film, right, I could see you like on the boat, like this, and then in the sky, the picture of that mentor talking to you. You will get through this. That's what I envision for this eventually, because it's a true story. It could be a little short film.
Very true. Very true. It was, at the time I wasn't realizing it, but looking back is, that all those people had done that. And then we turned that into a speaking program, mentoring type of stuff. So the Get Out of the Water speaking program, that uses the story as the metaphor to get out of the water. Whatever that water is keeping you from
right, it could
doing
be
what
anything.
you want to do.
Right.
And it's meant for businesses. And I share all those tips and those concepts about having that, that vision, all that stuff that I learned over the years. And a nice collection of this stuff that will, for businesses, it'll be, meant to and should, because these are proven concepts to increase your productivity, meet or exceed the sales goals, minimize and limit office conflict, because that's a big part of it.
So much now.
As well as promoting collaboration is there. And who knows, maybe it might save someone's life.
Well, that's very true, though. I mean, any negative things that happen to you, if you're smart enough to get out of that negative point, they do change your life. Because better things happen, and then from that, more better things happen.
I love that metaphor, Mike. The water is our limits and what's holding us back, and you're helping them. Or also, why a mentor is good is for you to see what's holding you back. Or
as I said before, it is learned behavior. It's behavior I learned.
yes,
And that's one of the epiphanies that at some point when things were happening very good for me, like that wasn't an accident.
Well, a lot of people have mostly the negative learned behavior because it's in our biology to keep us safe. So anytime you see that someone else can do it and you can't, you have to see why you have that limiting belief that you feel that someone else can and you can't. And it's this awareness to know how you're thinking. Either you're going towards your direction or you're not. And if you're not, then what is your belief? And this is why a mentor is so good. Sometimes we'll make up stories on our beliefs or whatever, and why a mentor, or you just skip it. Sometimes you just don't need to know. You surrender to something much bigger, or you have an ideal mentor leading you or pushing you towards where you want to go.
But there are a lot of people that don't even realize that. that
And
they
that's
might
a- that's
need
a-
a mentor or might need help or might need whatever. And
I
that's-
think everyone needs a
I,
mentor.
I
because-
definitely,
it's
yeah.
true.
Because we can only see from our own eyes.
Yes.
It's so
You know,
nice
and a
to
mentor
have-
doesn't have to be called a mentor.
Right,
Yeah,
right, right.
It could be
Just
a
someone,
coach,
anybody.
It could be anybody.
It could be someone
It could be
that you
really
really look
anybody.
up to.
In my
Yeah,
case,
some-
my two best friends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two
Yes.
best friends.
I love I love family. Family are the best because they'll call you out on your
That's
BS.
or true friends.
Yeah.
But be
Really
careful.
true friends, not
Sometimes
the
Be
yes
careful
friends.
of
Yeah.
the negative.
Right.
A
Family.
family can
Oh, but
do.
that,
Why are
that
you
comes
doing
with
that?
it. Well, that comes with
Why are
friends
you doing
also.
that?
You know
And
what?
you
You
need
know?
to learn how to tune that out
That's very
you
true.
can-
without jeopardizing the relationship.
Yes. Well, you could take it two ways. You can either tune it out
Yes.
or see where it bothers you, that it resonates some sort of truth, that you're accepting it, because then you can make it a turnaround within yourself to be more powerful. So when someone is negative, this is so incredibly powerful. I am not connected emotionally to them. I look at where they're coming from, what they're going through, their belief system, and it's all about them.
Yep.
So once I am disconnected energetically, emotionally, whatever, it would be like a stranger coming up on the street and saying, "Oh, you're crazy," this, that, or
Yes.
whatever. It would not
Right.
affect. It would
Right.
not affect
Right.
me.
In my program, there's two things I address in that. Very simple. So the first one is, when you have the key, and I do believe you really have to think well about what your vision is, what do you want.
Yes.
And I say, and I'm also about keep
So
it simple,
clarity.
one or two.
Uh-huh.
Don't try to do
Simple is-
don't try to
yes.
attack too many things at one time. Just-
Yes.
And really give some thought, because it's got to be something that's passionate in you. It's got to really mean something.
Yes.
Ask yourself truly why
Yes.
this is my goal.
Exactly.
All right, so-
that why is
And if you
very.
have that, then the next thing is, and this is your meditation and learning how to stop for a second. If the person, it's conflict resolution, right? If it's not going to help you achieve your goal, ignore it, let it go.
Yes.
So when you get the negative family, don't respond. Don't
Well,
just let it go.
that's true.
Yeah.
But,
But it's so hard to
Yes.
sometimes.
So
Yes.
and you know where I
it's just
learned
so
this?
hard to.
And I'll tell
it
you,
really is.
That's what
and
you
I'll
have
tell
to
you
train
how I
your
learned
brain.
this.
Right.
I tell you how I learned this.
I just
I'm at a
cut people
conference,
out.
Yeah.
and we had
I
just
really
bought
do.
the
I
house.
just do. I have no patience for that.
We just bought our second house. We had a month between. We owned both houses, so we were getting work done. And the question was what work we had done. And it was sort of an either or. We had 5 bathrooms that really needed overhauling. We had a kitchen that needed overhauling. And I'm at a conference, and I'm on the phone with my wife, and she wanted the kitchen done. I wanted the bathrooms done. Right? I'm very proud. Right? And there's no right answer. And we're having this conversation, and it finally ended. And my workmate was couldn't help. I'm standing out in the hallway. He couldn't help but overhear or know what's going on. And he goes, "Mike, did you think you were going to win that argument?" And I said, "Nah, Jim, no, I didn't." And then he goes, "Then why did you bother?" And that was 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That moment is still crystal clear in my head.
Jeez.
Why did I have that argument? It was to fill an emotional need on
That
my
you
part
wanted it.
that had nothing to do with what I really wanted,
Yes.
right? And then when you learn, and this is again on the learn behavior, so that's the thing about
Yes.
letting that stuff go. So if you've
Yeah,
got
you
that
do.
vision,
Yeah.
don't get distracted.
No,
That's
and
a
I can
really-
relate to the family
That's a
thing.
really valid point
Yes.
because we all have this emotional needs. Most arguments are not about the actual thing. It's
No.
about our emotional need that we're trying to fill, validated, or fear, or it has to do with the emotion.
And,
that-
and you watch all the time. This is because I do think, well, my thing is about business. It's all different aspects of
you
life.
know what? But business, it doesn't matter. Business or
relationships.
personal relationship, it's
But can you- yeah.
it's encompasses.
And also,
of-
I'll go, and I observe it. Goes, your goal wasn't to win. Your goal was to hurt the person.
yeah,
Your what you said wasn't meant. You were striking. You were hitting back.
because
Right.
you were
hitting
hurt.
back.
Right.
Because you
And it
were
had nothing to
Exactly,
do with what
exactly.
you were going to want to achieve, and in fact, it probably made it more difficult to get what you wanted to achieve. And your
But it was
emotional-
okay for you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because you had to do that. It was in your heart at that time.
Right, but then I learned to keep my mouth shut.
Right.
Right.
See, that's it.
Pick and choose your fights, and,
That's right.
and,
Exactly.
and then figure out how to phrase and present what's it going to take. If this, I really truly believe this has to be this way. What's it going to take to convince that person? And if and sometimes the answer is don't.
Less is more. And I
Oh,
say,
I say that all the time with everyone. I tell
do.
it to my kids, and I tell her all the time, even on the show. Hunt sometimes, less is more.
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
it really, really makes sense sometimes.
That lashing out is only going to make your life worse.
But at the moment, you think you feel that.
Listen.
I showed you, I told you.
Does it feel good?
Oh my God! For that moment, it really does.
And who doesn't like a movie scene where the person just snaps back and just shuts everybody up with some great comeback?
With a great little
I wish that was me. You know?
Yeah,
Well, on my side, I learned, because my family, they were all loving. But they think I'm a little cuckoo. So,
But they're telling you the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone has.
Well, they may or may not. They can and they cannot. And here's the thing: is that, one of my favorite quotes is the Teddy Roosevelt quote about the critic.
Yeah.
Right. And to some, I can never say it offhand, but ultimately, you should look up the critic for Teddy Roosevelt. It's a great speech, short, and he talks about the critic will never know. Right, we'll never know
It's
the
the
pain,
man in the arena,
the blood, the man in the arena, right?
Look up the man in the arena,
and it's all about the negative, right? And
you have to be in the arena. If they're not in the arena with you, and
it's
there's
tough.
no one,
Yes,
it's easy to be a critic from the sideline.
Yeah,
right.
Well, it's just like
but the
commentators.
reward for the person who fails and try, because no one just walks into something,
Right.
but no one really walks into Utopia,
a bullfight,
right? Or
whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
but
there's
a lot of pain that goes along. There's a lot of failure. There's a lot of steps. The 10,000 hours if you're a musician or something like that.
Right.
There's a lot of little stuff that you don't see in the we see the great performer. That the critic doesn't know that. The critic doesn't know, and then of course when you achieve it, that's the success you get.
Well,
the critic will never, and this is the
yes,
thing,
right.
the critic will never appreciate.
It's like I tell him, like my son, he plays football, lacrosse, and you'll have a critic, or just say a commentator. I really get frustrated sometimes with commentators because even playing football, I played football, I've had concussions, all that stuff, and I've gotten hit hard that at one point, I remember I caught this pass and a guy really rang and it's not like today there's so many ways of trying to avoid concussions, and they have more rules and regulations on how to tackle somebody and so forth. And the guy hit me so hard, right? But we're macho, we think we're cool. I get up and I run to the huddle and one guy goes, "Hey, what the hell are you doing here?" And I turned around, I'm in the wrong huddle. I got hit so hard I didn't realize where I was running to. So of course my comment was, I was just checking on you guys. And I tapped him and I ran to the other side, okay? Right? And you'll have a commentator that is never trained, never worked out. Yeah. You have no clue what nutcrackers are or whatever. And you say, "Oh, I can't believe you missed that tackle. Oh, I can't believe." And now I got to tell you, sometimes it really irks me, and I know I should just let it go. And it's like I want to say, have you ever put on any kind of football equipment ever?
Yeah, exactly.
And you're going to turn around, you're going to commentate and say, "Oh, you know what? He's this," or it's, I don't know.
No, you're right about that.
Unless you really know and you've had some kind of experience. I don't care what sport or whatever you're doing. When you sit there and you make, it's like know-it-alls. I tell my kids all the time, sometimes if somebody says, well, what's this? And you don't know what this is, right? Don't say, "Oh, well, I think it's this," and you have no clue what it is.
Be honest,
just, just say, "I don't know."
Yeah, no.
And how many people really honestly say, "I don't know"?
Because
you know what I mean?
People understand that.
You better
they appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to be like some people, they're know-it-alls. They know everything. Some people in life, they're never wrong. And then all of a sudden, like, well, I thought it was. Well, you know what? Like in the Marine Corps, when the drill instructor asks you a question and you didn't know, your response is, "Sir, private doesn't know, but the private will find out."
Exactly. Right.
So you know what? Don't give a wrong answer because you're going to get penalized for it. You're going to get punished for it, whatever, but not in regular life. But
yeah.
So you know what? If you don't know something, how many people really say, I don't know those words?
Well, and a big part in life, and particularly in business, and I can share this, is anticipate the negatives, right? Anticipate the
so you have an
roadblocks.
Answer, right?
Right, and put yourself, why would other people agree to this? And a lot of times you need other people. This goes back to the one where, you got the people you can ignore, but then you have people that hold the keys or whatever, that you need their yes vote for whatever it is. And when I moved to Wilmington, when I jumped ship to Wilmington Trust, I was bringing in 4 new business lines from. These weren't easy business lines too. They involved bank balance sheets and a whole bunch of stuff of uncharted territory in there. But my success was going to be continuing on being able to bring that business and convincing the bank. And I had to go through the big thing that I had learned from mistakes from in the past was to anticipate the no's and have an answer for them. Why would they object? And instead of just going, a lot of people don't come prepared. They think they're prepared, but they don't, because they're thinking about how am I going to do this, but they're not thinking about who are those people going to block this from getting it done, and what's it going to take? How do I make them happy? Yeah. And I learned the absence of no's becomes a yes. If you can address all the no's, then you get the okay. And you can watch, it's amazing dynamic to watch people who inherently, business, people don't like to put themselves in a line if it's not their thing, right?
But then the no's, those people that are the no's, when you do get to that pinnacle and you want to invite them to something where they know that they weren't all right about what they said to you, that's like a big thing for the person that has the yes.
Yeah, but then a lot of those people,
but to me that's irrelevant. To me,
they don't
get the
really
yes.
care.
To me, it's get the yes. Right. And the thing is, it's not like it's not proving them wrong.
Right.
It's recognizing they had a legitimate concern.
Right.
The thing is,
respect.
It's seen. It's like in life. It's seeing it through their eyes instead of like, I have this greatest product and you should like it. It's like, why wouldn't this person like it? What would hold them back from saying the yes? So you have to think.
Understand.
You have to
and you respecting them.
Yes, respect them and be in their shoes and all their fears, knows, or how they'll discount it. Because once you're able to put it aside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, guys,
this is great. Just wonderful.
Guys, I want to tell you, thank you for being on the show.
Oh,
it's a great show.
I really want to ask you really, really quickly, because we have to end the show. Crypto.
Okay.
Real quickly.
Real quickly.
I remember last time you were on the show.
You know how FX went under and a ton of people lost money? That is not the crypto I am talking about. I am talking about crypto of DeFi. You being 100% responsible. These people wanted to get rich quick. You fall into the hype. You listen to other people. Listen to yourself. And crypto is still going to be like this. This is the future, just like in computers. When computers first came out, it was read and write. And I couldn't imagine everybody having a computer or where computers would be today. That's where crypto and NFT will be. And NFT, not just in art, NFTs for non-fungible token, meaning like non-replaceable. In fact, California, I think they're making their whole house deeds or card things all NFT.
That's right.
Literally everything in the future will be NFT. Like, it's mind-boggling. Just like you couldn't imagine this. I don't know anybody could.
It's how to protect intellectual property in the digital world. It's a very viable solution to protect that.
One of the things is intellectual property. The other thing is like airplane, your car deeds, every legal document. Every document will be.
Yeah.
Well, it's
and I agree
California
with
has already
crypto,
started.
except I will say this: it's unregulated, and it's a big tax avoidance, which creates a big opportunity.
Yeah, but that's why I don't know if everything is, unless the government can control it.
Well, the government is making their own.
But the whole idea is keep an eye on it, because
it's just
it's like the Wild West.
Right.
There's going to be legitimate and there's going to be.
Well, it's just like even everybody getting licensed to be a dispensary or whatever. Whoever thought it was going to be legalized.
Right.
Whoever thought that the government was going to be able to tax it. You know what I mean?
But the crypto, keep an eye on it, because there's landmines in the crypto world, which you're discovering.
Well, the thing. It is. Anytime something is new, any technology, it's gonna go. It's gonna go like this, just like the computers in the .com era. It went like this. Imagine if you had Amazon, which was over $100 a share, and then it went to $5. People would say, "Oh, I lost so much." You didn't really lose, as long as you hold on to it. And that's same with crypto. Crypto, there's over 50,000 different kinds of cryptos. And most of it's going to be junk. And in the NFT art world, most of it's going to be junk. So you have to know, you have to do the research.
Do homework. Do your homework.
Yeah.
Really.
So, well, the risk is the lesson learned in 2008, which I don't think anyone's really learned. is
You have to-
the markets move like sheep now. Everyone it moves in one direction, which causes these bubbles.
Well, the society
And-
moves like sheep
Yeah.
because this is the
Well,
dark,
it's too
dark
few-
force that's
Too,
coming.
it's too few hands making a decision, and no one wants to be out on the outside, so they all move together. If they're all moving together, we're all happy, and they look for. And no one was doing the due diligence on each other.
Exactly. Because we have a social media and people have this FOMO and people listen to other things instead of doing the work.
Well, thank you. I didn't mean to rush you.
No, thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thank you.
I apologize.
We should have started that.
We should have started that
Oh,
earlier.
another-
I
another
apologize. I
one.
meant to
That's
ask you.
another show.
Yeah,
And
I
I
meant to
didn't
ask
get
you.
to
So,
give everybody the tips and tools on how to streamline manifest. So
So
I'll
you come
have-
back.
yeah, that's it.
and-
You have
and
to
know
come
what?
back.
I think I'm going to have a free Zoom thing
Okay.
for
Okay.
everyone who, because
So
it
just
will
please let
take
us
a-
know.
Yeah, we'll post
Absolutely.
it.
So everyone, I want to thank everybody. I'm sorry to be rushing.
Don't
you
be
know.
sorry. This was
And
fantastic.
thank you guys so much for being on the show. And I know you guys will be back again.
Oh, definitely.
So
How do
we
they
want-
buy the book? Yeah. How do they find you to speak and all this great stuff?
MichaelDiazSpeaker.com.
That's good.
Okay.
That's the website. The book will be up in there. It's right now. It's in being formatted.
We should have it,
For
what,
now.
about 2 months, a month?
I'm hoping before that, but
Okay.
it's written. It's just getting
gonna have
formatted
a
to be
big
able to
book
be
launch.
digital, and printed, and yeah, and then that's where.
And how do they get a hold of you?
Asialee, fineart.com, or you can just email me at asialee@me.com. But I do have a book coming out May 14th
All right.
also.
Excellent. All right.
know that.
Beautiful.
And I also have a TED Talk.
Great. Okay.
well, we'll
Okay.
be there.
You'll be-
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
We'll definitely
TED
be there.
Talk, book, online course.
You're on a
because-
roll here, huh?
Well, the thing is, I was so afraid, but I'm ready to amplify because I see people can really use this information and these tools that I've feel
That's
I perfected to
terrific.
transform people's lives.
Can't wait
So-
for that.
We want to thank our sponsors, Oro Puro. Teddy, thank you for everything you always do. You're a great man. The taxes
It's
coming
not
up
over
soon,
yet.
right?
Yeah,
not
it's
over yet,
coming.
right?
Yeah.
We still have a little
One
time
day.
to file your taxes. And the Prince of Taxes, Jackson Hewitt, located in Franklin Avenue, 768. Tell him we sent you, and Tranquility Spa. Give
Yeah.
a big shout out to Angela. You're an amazing woman. You really do a lot of work for the community. Thank you so much for helping us with the show. And I think
That's a wrap.
it's a wrap.